There is a product that literally keeps the world turning, and you won't have even heard about it. It's found in hospital ventilators, aeroplane seats, Formula One cars, and even your house will be filled with this thing hidden away from show. It's so vital for the production and safety in the running of the modern world, and I am so buzzing I got to explore how it's made and celebrate that it is still made in Britain. Welcome back to the channel and to the second episode in my series Made in Britain, where I'm going to be travelling all around the United Kingdom looking at stuff that's still made here. None of that cheap imported tat that breaks straight away. Now, after my first episode, I said, if anyone makes something in Britain, let me know. And I got this message. Hey David, we love your videos. If you're interested in things that are still made in the United Kingdom, my cousin runs a successful rubber moulding business that was set up by my uncle many years ago. So that just sounds so awesome. And I was hoping to come across stuff that you just wouldn't assume is still made here in the United Kingdom. And a rubber moulding factory, I just assumed that would be imported. So yeah, the weirder, the more unusual, the bizarre these products are, it's going to be more fun for me. So I'm currently in the hills of Yorkshire, and this factory is down in Brighton, and that's about a 7-hour drive away. So, well, yeah, let's drive down to Brighton and see what all this rubber moulding business is about and explore and celebrate more stuff that's made in Britain. Let's do it. This is going to be fun. So I arrived down at Grommets Limited, and I read this list of all these products they made, but I had no idea what they were, just knew that it's something made out of rubber. But I did see this in the corner, and I was so happy to see that this was on show. What is Grommets?
What Grommets is our UK manufacturing rubber engineering company, supplying our products throughout the UK and the rest of the world into all areas of industry, and a successful family-run business, I believe. It's all very well like modern technology, but when you look at the machines that we've got there and for what they do and what they have to do, that's all you need. You know, those presses, they're old presses. They've been restored in one form or other, either from Thompson's of Millwall, and then the other ones are showing, which I got from the scrapyard.
They'll keep going for another 100 years. Those presses keep going and going and going.
Right. Okay. So this was the original, the cow shed. Yeah.
It was literally a milking shed.
Really. And that's your dad up there. I'll just get a picture. Yeah. So this is Sidney Wells, the guy who started this business, where it all came from. And Sidney sadly died in 2010, but left the business in the very capable hands of his daughter, Joanne. So I was beginning to understand that something was pressed here with these old machines that were made in England, but I needed to get into the heat of it all to figure out more. The roar of the factory floor was incredible, but it wasn't good for my little microphone. I must remember industry is very noisy. So what I'm going to do is talk you through how these products are made. So sheets of rubber arrive and are cut into strips just like that. So these sheets of rubber are then placed on these very specific moulds. Now these moulds come in all different shapes and sizes, giving Grommets here the ability to make over 2,500 different products. From there, the pins that are on the top of the mould are lined up with the holes that are on the bottom with that rubber in between before being pushed into the hydraulic press. So this press that has a force of up to 200 tons of pressure, and that's heated pressure as well, and you'll see why when them pins make their way through the rubber. This is so satisfying to watch. Just look at that. So with all that force and heat doing its work, it's then left for 6 minutes until we can return to it and see what's happened. So the excess rubber that has protruded from the mould is known as flash. So it's important to remove all that before looking at what's happened on the inside. So Ben here made the process look so easy, but you'll watch me have a go in a bit and you'll just see the weight of it, the struggle of all these different processes. And this here is the product on the end. Look at that, the moulds have come through. The moulding that lines up perfectly with the pins that were on the top. Now, not all products come through perfectly. You can see this one here couldn't handle the heat, couldn't handle the weight, but the rest of them are looking good. It's important to remove the rest of the flash, which is still around the product, and then using some Sheffield steel, absolutely love that, made in Britain. You scour along, creating each individual product before popping them through into the box below, and there we go, look at that. And this process just keeps happening continuously all around the factory floor with different shaped moulds, creating different products out of rubber. It's so so fascinating to see this in action, and I was really getting a feel for what this product was, or what these products are, should I say. What Grommets can do down here at this small factory is literally create rubber components that are essential for all different types of industry, tiny parts that are vital for the running of the modern world. And it is so easy to go through life and just not think about these products or how important they are, or more amazingly, that they are still made here in Britain. And so what will this be used for? Where do you know what this is going?
Yeah, well, this would be, I think it's audio cable.
Audio cables?
Yeah, so
really?
signal cables. So your cables will go through here.
Right.
Because the base of here up to this point is a wider for the sheet of the cable. And then it'll just have the copper parts or whatever type of cable they're using protruding through the end.
Wow.
So they can be plugged into different things.
Wow, that's ace.
The other components to it.
Yeah. Cool.
Then this is the tool room that we opened last week in memory. Yeah, Simon. Yeah.
So in loving memory of Simon.
Yeah.
This is a beast. What is this?
We can make and repair our tooling.
Wow.
So it will be programming the sizes and yeah.
What a piece of equipment this.
Yeah. We've looked at updating it, but they've actually been along and said to us it's fine.
Yeah.
It works fine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like something that there'll just be a little manual for, is it?
There is a big.
Oh, there is it's a big manual.
Andy, what about because Andy's hobby does stock.
I race 185 stock cars.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've actually got them in the van. I was racing yesterday, so.
Oh, you'll have to show David.
Oh, please, yeah.
They're brilliant, and he's done. Have you got the Grommets one in there as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, sweet. Look at this.
Did it win at the weekend?
I got 6th in the final.
And you build all these,
I
yeah?
build these from scratch.
That's so ace.
4 kilo steel, no brakes. It is a contact sport. So.
Contact sport, oh, I love it.
As you see, this has been crushed.
All right, yeah.
There's been holes there. So. Yeah. And these are the pins that come out. Basically, they end up like that.
Right, yeah.
I'll clean one up, but what I'll do with that is I'll make the holes big, make the pins big and the holes bigger, so it just goes through, so it centralises itself. Unless they're really, either thin tools or really thin, they're absolutely shot. When you've got 200 tonne coming through, it's going to make a mess. So.
Have we got any of the Sheffield? This is the Sheffield shear scissors, isn't it? Where we get these are the trimming scissors.
Oh, yeah,
that come
yeah.
from Sheffield. But we've got somebody locally now who can. They sharpen them up for us.
Oh,
so we can
amazing.
recycle them. Yeah.
That's so nice.
But
I'm
we've
going to
used.
show my age, we've got a local tinker.
Yeah. So that's so nice, that longevity of tools again. I think that's so nice. And also what says again, as you said, you've just got this whole thing of repairing everything that comes in. So it's like nothing's like, oh, that's done, the end of that life. It's like this comes in here, you understand it, you can fix it. Could I see the lathe in action at some point today if you want to?
I can sort that out.
So it was amazing to see Andy in action here, a guy who understands machinery, he really does. And I love that about this place. They don't let products go to waste. If something's broken, they give it to Andy, he fixes it, it's back out on the factory floor.
I used to do welding and steel work, and I used to do drilling.
Oh, really?
To be on a drill and just flick it in and just lose yourself into the job.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool when it just gets you away from everything else.
You said you ship internationally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how have you navigated those two things, COVID and Brexit?
I just got that gut feeling it was all going to be wrong. We knew we can just send our products into the EU and they'd get to the customer within 1 or 2 days. The same as we were selling them into
There's
the
no
UK.
difference. There's no difference selling to Europe
Yeah.
and selling in the UK.
The amount of stuff we had to put on our paperwork just to cover it,
Yeah.
and we are lucky, but because we're a UK manufacturing company, that we're not having to jump through a lot of the other hoops that a lot of
If you're
other
importing
business.
stuff,
If you're
yeah.
importing,
Yeah.
or if it's not made in the UK and you're trying to get it out of the UK, it's difficult. You know, we're flying the flag, aren't we? We've got the UK flag. We're a UK manufacturing company, so you know. We're what the Brexiteers wanted, but they weren't listening to us saying, no, you know, business doesn't want to have to jump through these hurdles to get their products. But nobody listened. Anyway, we navigated that.
What's the nitrogen for?
That feeds that tumbling machine.
Oh, so that's for the tumbling machine? Oh, really?
Yeah. So you'll see all the the smoke, the white cloud that comes out from
Yeah.
it, where it's freezing it down, it goes down to below 100 degrees centigrade.
Wow.
Put the products in there, spin them round, and out they come without any flash on them.
Oh, amazing. Here we are at another awesome part of the process in this rubber factory. And like we just heard then, often these products get left with a little bit of the flash. We saw earlier on they were trying to get rid of most of it, but sometimes a little bit's left on. So what happens then is these products are poured into this tumbling machine, this giant machine which is fueled by that nitrogen that we just saw outside. And as you can see here, this is one of the products, and this is what I mean by that flash that's just left on it, that little bit of excess. So that's what this machine's going to remove. And here we can see the tumbling machine in action and just that white cloud of nitrogen that is spilling out. It really was amazing to see. I love industry and I love seeing it happen right before my eyes. It was great. It's like that program How It's Made, except I was actually in the factory. So you don't have to run this tumbler for a long time before you see the results of what it can do. And just reaching in and pulling out some of that finished product, you can see the difference here. So that's the one with the flash still on, and after being in the tumbler, look how smooth and clean it is. Oh, so good.
I lost a brother, Mark lost a brother within the space of 6 months.
Oh,
from
really?
COVID.
Oh.
Mine indirectly. He got admitted to hospital, and it was when things were really dire, and basically they slapped a DNR on him, didn't they? They said, we're dealing with all this COVID, we can't deal with him. So, and then 6 months later, your brother directly from COVID, and then my granddaughter got COVID while she was pregnant. That was the one and only time I took myself completely out of the business.
Yeah.
Because every other, I've lost my mother when she was 62, carried on going. I lost my father in 2010, but every time just carried on going.
Yeah.
You just have to carry on with the business. Lost my brother, carried on. Your brother, carried, and then my granddaughter. She was on life support.
Oh
for
my God.
6 weeks up in London. Thankfully, she survived. The baby's fine, and then. You could have knocked us down with a feather. We organised a roast dinner, didn't we, at home, and not knowing that she was coming home. So we did it, and we got the nod that she could come home. So do anything for a roast. It's the first time we've done a roast or whatever together for months. Stand by your beds.
So what's this process here?
So, I'm sorting these. Some will need trimming, some are rejects, and then these will go into stock.
Nice.
So this counts how many it is, and then you document it all and label it all.
All of them don't come out of the tumbling machine completely free of flash, do they? So it just needs a little bit of hand trimming.
So that machine that I've just seen in action, so there might be a few after that, so then you'd put them back and then hand trim these ones. And is that what you're doing here now as well? Just
them.
getting some trim off, yeah.
And they do trim on the press as well, don't they? The guys that like in between lifts, if they all stand there and trim as well.
What would these products be used for?
Most of these you'd have to take apart something you've got at home to find it.
Right, okay, so what we got here, we've got
hot
hot water systems here, so there's
That's
some
an open grommet,
ventilators on the small ones.
Yeah.
Aircraft seats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And what's that? Motorbike brake lines. Wow. So these really are used in so many different industries, products.
Anywhere that's got a cable or a panel that needs to be plugged, then this is where they all...
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
We supply at least 3 or 4 of the Formula 1 teams as well.
We've got about 6,000 customers.
That is incredible.
UK and worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is absolutely awesome.
And they all come back, repeat orders.
So cool, isn't
we
it?
can turn it, even if we've got to manufacture it, we can generally turn it around in 7 to 10 days. So the first thing people say to you when you say grommets, they say, the ones that go in the ears. They're the only ones that we don't make, the ones that go in the ears.
It must be so interesting to feel like this that comes from here just ends up everywhere. Do you know what I mean? In so many different appliances and so many different industries, in so many different jobs. It really is incredible, isn't it, when you think about it? Really is.
How far field it goes.
Yeah. I had no idea things like this were still manufactured in Britain, still being made in such a renewable way with all your machinery, everything like that. Yeah. It genuinely is fascinating to see.
And latest, wind farms. Big project for us is wind farms, electric car batteries.
So then they said they had a little surprise for me, and they donned me in the Grommets uniform. This is one of the only times you won't see me in my classic black and orange. and I headed over to the factory floor to have a go at some rubber moulding myself. You know, when you start a new job and you've just been watching for a while and then they finally say, yeah, you can do it, you can have a go at the task. Well, it felt exactly like that, except it was being filmed and I knew it was going to go out on YouTube. And I suddenly became aware of just how heavy and just how hot all these processes were. And I especially loved the lever for the hydraulic press because it was all about a feeling, it was about understanding the machine and becoming one with it. I loved that part. Then it was time to bring the product out. And thanks to the magic of video editing, I can make it look like I didn't struggle for 5 minutes getting that open. And there we go, there's the product. Obviously there's a few there lost, bit of flash on the edge, but I really enjoyed this part, which was scouring along with the Sheffield steel to create each individual product and then the process of popping it through into the box below. So here we go, let's take a look at some rubber moulding done by the Wandering Turnip, and they were actually really happy with it. They said this will go into stock, so who knows where that'll end up. They also said that if the YouTube work ever does dry up, I can have a job down there with them. But it was so much fun to actually have a go at the rubber moulding, and that's what I love about this series, just trying stuff that I would never normally do in real life. It's resilience there, isn't it? Because it's resilience for the business, doing everything it can, hiring extra staff who have lost work for reasons, going against Brexit, everything personally you've been said, and you're still standing strong, and that's what's really amazing to see. Made in Britain, doing this, doing everything you can local. You've been through so much and you're still here, and it's just, and it's saying like making your dad would be so proud of where you are now. He really would.
I do like that when they say, well, your dad would be proud, you know. So,
Yeah.
One day we'll retire.
One day.
I think I am going to be one of those that will be dragged out kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
You know, Mark might totter off a bit sooner than me, but.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You'll try to.
I've got an Irish passport. I'm going
that's it. So there we go, a 14-hour round trip down to Brighton and back, but it was totally worth it. I was really intrigued when they got in touch and said, come check out this rubber moulding factory, and I'm so glad I went because it was so much more interesting than I could ever have expected. And what they do down there is absolutely what I was searching for in this Made in Britain series. Business that is doing really well, industry that still lives on, showing that manufacturing can and does still exist in the United Kingdom. Manufacturing a product that is so important to how we run the modern world. A massive thank you to Joanne, who runs it all down there, for letting me come down and film and get involved. Now, she recently got recognised in the Women in Family Business report, and it's clear to see why. She runs an absolutely incredible operation down there. A big thanks as well to Ben, who let me get involved and he showed me how all the machinery works, and also to Andy, who said that really nice quote about losing yourself in the work. And I know it's a very different industry, but I get that feeling when I'm video editing. So it was nice to resonate with that quote and realise that I am at the moment doing work that I really enjoy. And to all the team down there who made me feel so welcome, and especially you, Stuart, for getting in touch. Thanks so much, mate. And anyone else who makes something in Britain, get in touch with me. I want to go on a journey all around the United Kingdom. It's been so much fun so far. I'm so intrigued to see where I'll end up. Nice one. Bye-bye.